everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Turnips to Tangerines, where I share recipes and ramblings from my everyday life. Today we are going to make gumdrop fudge. I'm going to make a white fudge with a little bits of gumdrops, and these are cinnamon flavored gumdrops that I cut into quarters. And this is a super easy recipe. In fact, the hardest part was cutting these gumdrops up. And that was it. So let's get started. First of all, we're going to add our 1.5 cups of sugar to our pan. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of butter. Make sure you use butter. And 2/3 cup or 3/4 cup of evaporated milk. And we're just going to mix all that together, and we're just going to keep stirring it around until the butter melts and everything gets all mixed together. And depending on how hot your stove is at, you can either do it on medium high, medium. I'm using this little burner, and this little burner tends to heat up slowly, but then it gets really nice and hot as it gets warmed up. So I'm going to quickly just sit here and stir this around. And I'm going to add my vanilla extract now, 1 teaspoon. I like to add it when it's going to be all melting here together. You can add it at the end. A lot of people add it after this process, but I kind of like to add it beforehand. So we're not going to just keep on stirring here until the butter melts. Everything's coming together here. And the crucial step here is after the the butter and the evaporated milk and the sugar all get nice and syrupy, you have to let it boil for 5 minutes. Some people wait, some people give 4 minutes. I prefer the 5 minutes, so that's what I do. I'm going to slowly switch you over here and get you a little closer here. Just a little bit. There, cut that out. Whatever. And I'm going to be using Jet Puff Marshmallow Creme for this recipe. And ignore my fingers. I was working with pomegranate seeds, so they're kind of stained right now. But I'll be using a 7-ounce container of the Jet Puffed Marshmallow Creme. That'll get added in a little bit here. And I'm going to be using 11-ounce package of the Ghirardelli classic white baking chips, and minus a handful. So I opened them up, I had to try them, and they're really good, so minus a handful on that. The butter has dissolved and everything has gotten nice and melted. The sugar has become incorporated with the evaporated milk and the vanilla. And now it comes a process of bringing it up to a boil. And then you have to let it boil for approximately 5 minutes. And that will be stirring constantly. So when you're making fudge, this doesn't take long to make. You can make a batch of fudge in under 5 minutes, or under 10 minutes, excuse me. But during this process here, you need to stick with it the whole 5 minutes and just stand here and stir and, think about other things. But this is the crucial stage. If you don't sit and stir it constantly while it's boiling, your fudge won't set up. So this is why it's important, or otherwise if you happen to walk away for 5 minutes and you leave it on the burner while it's bubbling away, the chances are it just might burn also or bubble over, and then you'd have a real hot sticky mess, and you don't want to do that either. So you're better off just once it comes up to a boil, which is what I'm waiting for here, which it looks like it's going to be any second here, I certainly hope. And once it does, you check at your, look at your clock immediately, and you'll see it all of a sudden, it'll just start boiling and it'll kind of like take off. So you keep your eye on it. Not yet, not yet, not yet. That's getting there, getting there, getting there. Here we go. Come on, come on. There. It's starting. I can hear it going here. There it goes. You can see it boiling there, coming bubbling to the surface. And once it starts doing that, I just, depending upon how hot your burner is, I turn it down just a tad. And now, see how it goes crazy? And now we are going to look at my clock, and I'm going to time it for 5 minutes. So I'm going to stand here and stir. And stir and stir and stir. It's been about roughly 2 minutes since I started. I now have my burner all the way down to low because you don't want it burnt. Like I said, after you bring it up to a boil and you get a nice boiling here, and it really does a nice boil job, you turn it down to, you know, whatever temperature on your burner, medium, low, low, where it still bubbles like this. If you can see, it's still bubbling and you're still stirring. You still want it to look like this. You still want this much bubbling action happening while you're continuing to stir. And like I said, this little burner, one burner, single burner, I have it down on low right now. And so far it's going pretty good here. So I have my pan already buttered. I have it lined with tin foil here, which I prefer to use foil versus parchment paper or wax paper. And it just, the foil seems to peel off better and lift out easier. And then I just take a frozen, or not frozen, a cold stick of butter, and I just lightly butter the pan. And that's all I do with that. So, and I'm still stirring. I think we have about one and a half more minutes to go here, roughly. And that'll be good. Okay, that looks good. See, it's still bubbling good. It's still boiling good. And I'm still stirring it. Basically what you're doing, what you're making here is a homemade sweetened condensed milk. Is, you know, for lack of a better term or whatever else I would call this, that's pretty much what this is. Better than your canned, but you know, basically that's what we're making here. So let it continue to bubble away here. I do believe for about 1 more minute and we are done then. And then we're just about done making our fudge all together. And I am going to quickly open that. Okay, here I'm going to turn this down or off totally, but I'm going to leave it on the burner while I add the chips and the marshmallows cream, and then I'm going to set it over here. Stir it while I'm doing that. So quickly add our big 11-ounce bag, minus a handful, of Ghirardelli premium white baking chips, and I'm going to slide you down a tiny bit here. There, I can still get this over here. Oh, do a little spin job here, and we are going to add our marshmallow cream, which makes things nice and sticky and gooey and good. Ooh, there, it came out good. There. Okay, set. This is the gooey part, but it's the part that makes it taste good. So, let's get all that out of there. Don't want to leave any behind. Any behind? Nope. Okay, come on. Here we go. Get it out. One hunk at the bottom here. There. That should be good. And I'm going to just lay that there for now, and I'm going to start trying to start stirring this. Ooh, yeah. I usually like to do this with the spoon first of all, until it gets in there. And you just keep on stirring. Now, I think I mentioned this in my last fudge recipe video, that if I know some people use an electric mixer to beat it in. I've never done that, so if you have, please leave me a note in the bottom, in the description box, because I would really like to know if that makes things easier, because I can tell you, I love making fudge. It's fun, it's easy for the most part, but, you know, this old shoulder of mine is getting a little tired of the stirring business. So if the electric mixer works better, hey, I'm all for it. I will go for it in a minute. Yeah. Whew. I can tell you, shoulder, it's like that. There we go. It's just about, you want to keep stirring it. I see a little bit of marshmallow cream in there. You want to kind of make sure it's all dissolved. You could put it back on the burner for 1 second if you needed to, just to kind of get it going. That's what I like to do too. And it looks pretty good now. These little burners stay hot for a while. There we go. Now it's starting to do good. Slide that over, and now I'm going to add, I don't even know, I would say this is about a cup of cinnamon flavored gumdrops that I cut into quarters. It came in a package by Brach's, and there was cinnamon flavored were the red, and spearmint flavored was green. And I had contemplated, I said, I don't know, maybe I should add them together. And I thought that might taste a little odd, you know, together. So I thought, well, maybe I'll just go with the cinnamon flavored. And that's why I went with the red. So that's the reason for that. Or you could just, if you don't want to, you know, use any Christmassy colors at all, you don't have to. You can just, you know, use all different kind of colors. Use a rainbow colored fudge. You can do that too. Or if you want to mix the two together, go ahead. There isn't, like I said, it doesn't, there's not going to be a whole lot of gumdrops in here. I probably could have used another half a cup to another cup, actually. But, oh well, it'll still get eaten, I am sure. So this is, I've never made the gumdrop fudge before, so hey, we'll see how it works out. And it looks pretty good though. I don't know, maybe there's more, maybe they all went to the bottom right away here. Sometimes that candy will do that, it'll fall to the bottom. It shouldn't be too bad because they were coated with sugar, you know. So, hey, where's my other bowl here? Oh, great. Huh. There. Use my mouth for that. And now I'm just gonna, oh, jeez. Am I gonna waggle our old mess here? Oh, well, that's okay. Well, okay. And I also learned something that I didn't know either with my last fudge recipe that I made. And I asked a question on Facebook, and everyone said that their fudge is much better frozen. And I was like, really? I had never frozen my fudge in my ever. It doesn't freeze completely, like, you know, candy bars, for instance. And I froze a couple little pieces just for my sake. I thought, well, I will check it out. And sure enough, it was darn good. It was better frozen, the fudge was, I thought. I love candy bars frozen. So, there. Well, there we are. This is our vanilla chipped, vanilla, classic white vanilla flavored chips, chocolate chips, with our gumdrops, cinnamon flavored gumdrops. And as you can see, it's really starting to set up already. And that means you cooked it long enough. I'm just gonna tap it here on the bottom and we're all set. So I hope you try this recipe for fudge, gumdrop fudge, cinnamon flavored gumdrop white chocolate fudge. And I hope your family enjoys it as much as I'm sure mine will. See you later.